I planned on filming myself making these, and there's just so much math involved and a lot of trial and error, so you're lucky to even see this. Hi, and welcome back to Janine Makes Another Quilt. On this episode, I am not going to be showing you how I made the blocks. I'm just going to be showing you every other part, well, almost every other part. And there's going to be a fun unboxing. My furnace just kicked on, and this may happen multiple times during this voiceover. I'm going to be showing you things I don't think I've shown before when it comes to quilting. Strap yourselves in. I was going to say hang on. Don't hang on, just strap yourselves in. I started with 9 blocks. I had a basic idea of what I wanted to do, a sawtooth, simple sawtooth. Decided to go with a spicy sawtooth. I think I'm going to call it the spicy sawtooth, or spiced, haven't decided quite yet. But it's a very simple block to do, except I added a little around the extra top because I wanted something a little different, and saw something on, Google Images? I don't have the reference photo anymore, and I sincerely hope I didn't plagiarize somebody's pattern idea. I might have. Sorry. I'm not selling it. I just wanted something a little different, you know? And I haven't been quilting for all that long. Almost a year. Not quite, but almost. And figured I would do something like this. I'm talking in circles, man. I think. It doesn't really matter. I was going to get this long-armed and decided to clean my sewing cabinet drawers just because I was procrastinating. Found out I have batting scraps, enough for a quilt this size, thanks to the willow quilt I did for my brother. So, you know, shout out to me for being great. Had leftover batting from that. I long-armed it. There's a video on it. You can check it out. Please do. Very good pattern. Highly recommend if you're a beginner or even if you're not. But here I am just smoothing everything out and then putting on my quilt's top. Very important to have everything smooth before you pin baste it. And that's exactly what I did. I may have said in the first quilt I ever did that I would never straight pin baste again. I know when I did the Birds and the Bees quilt, kind of a bit of a headache. I wish I had quilted that one a little differently, looking back now, but you know, it was a learning experience, right? Don't recommend using straight pins because they might fall out. They have fallen out for me, but I have not stepped on any. Don't have any issues. Either that or the carpet's been absorbing them quite well. They are quite small. Be careful, please. Used more than 100 straight pins on this one. I don't know what the end measurement of this quilt was because I didn't measure it, but probably around 45 by 45 inches. Not perfectly square. No, not perfectly square. Kind of messed up a little bit on the placement. Decided not to use my seam ripper. I think I used it maybe once or twice this entire quilt, which is once or twice more than I usually do. Went through my stash and just looked at all the pretty fabrics, and blue and orange was definitely the vibe I was going for. Come to find out I didn't really have enough of the fabrics I wanted. Could have planned it a little differently, but I didn't. So for the purpose of this video, this is an improv quilt, and I'm trying to cover up for the fact that I've been really absent-minded when I made this quilt. Now I'm going in with a ruler and a washable clover pen, drawing in some lines every 3 inches. Thought about doing a grid. Decided not to do that because I figured I'd either lose my self-confidence, break my machine, break my willpower, break my motivation, break a needle, wreck the quilt, something along the lines of that. Maybe too many puckers. It's pretty simple to go with a straight diagonal. Straight diagonal? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Instead of a grid, a lot less effort too. So there's that. Maybe in the future I'll do grid quilting. My machine's kind of old. If you didn't know that, you'll see in a moment what she looks like. She's beautiful. She's a hard worker, just like me. Here we are, starting with the quilting, the official quilting. This is a Singer Fashion Mate model 237, built in Canada during the 1960s. I was gonna make a joke about how my parents were also built in Canada during the 1960s, but that is in fact a lie because both of them were not born in Canada. But if I know anything about the 60s, they were pretty groovy. I don't know anything about the 60s. Dang, what a hole I've dug. Here we go. I want to mention also that I changed the needle for the first time in many months on my machine. I know you're supposed to do it every 8 to 10 hours of sewing you do, something along the lines of that. I don't. I only change it when I quilt. So, I only notice it's dull when I'm quilting. So when I piece or even work on like a mask, there we go. I've made some masks. I've only noticed its dullness if I'm quilting with it. I use a simple like 1/4 inch foot, go along with the whole, I'm now cracking my wrist because I'm having fun with that. I'm very distractible today, that's okay. I don't have a walking foot, and maybe you might think that's, you know, how much of a hack I am, but I kind of like it, to be quite honest. Very simple. I only have one foot, so I have to look into seeing if I can find any feet that would fit for my machine. Don't really know enough about it, but that's okay, because I know how to quilt. More straight line quilting. Figured, you know, I'd show you the effort that went in. This might be satisfying for some people. Some people might be ready to yell at me, or even have already clicked off the video. It's a free country where I live, in the sense that I have freedom to record this. So much fun. Is there anything else I want to mention before we move on? I don't think so. I did want to get it long-armed. Didn't end up doing it. Great, my dad's probably calling again. Hold on. I don't know where I left off, but somebody called and I had to pick that up. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't cuss. Here I am just trimming my quilts. One of my favorite parts of the entire quilt making process is trimming at the end. I find it so satisfying just to get those straight lines. Here are some straight lines. Very straight. No curves, no mistakes at all. I am perfect. I am perfect. Also sped up the footage because I am impatient, but still perfect. Yes. Loved the whale fabric, didn't have enough of it. Wish I did. The idea was to have whale fabric as the sashing, borders, all of that good stuff. Didn't have enough of it. Dipped into my very first quilt fabric purchase bundle. Here's the backing. Both are selections from Art Gallery. I will list everything down below and leave some links if they're still available. Here's my binding I'm attaching. You won't get to see me hand bind it because I don't want to do that. But I did hand bind it, and just a 2-inch binding instead of a 2.5 makes a difference. Very, very seamless. And ooh, those miter corners. I just got home from work. It's almost 3:30 in the afternoon and it's snowing, but I got a package and I have a camera here and a camera there, and hopefully my phone doesn't run out of storage before this is over and done. Very exciting. Tags for my quilts, and I'm going to blur out my address. I don't even know if I'm going to show the second angle until I actually see it, but figured I would do a little unboxing. Don't mind the hair, it's been up all day. Is there anything in here? I feel like one of those, you know, you get like a birthday card in the mail, or from your grandparents and stuff, and you just, you want to check to see how much money you get. That's what it feels like, but I paid for these with my own money. American, but it ships from a Canadian address. They're located in Port Huron, which is the American side of Sarnia. That doesn't make any sense, but Sarnia and Port Huron are like border cities. Yeah, I have friends who live in Sarnia. So it says, Ever Emblem. You're getting me before the caffeine hits. When the caffeine does hit, I become really mellow, because it does not work like it should. Labeled with love, and then I have a little discount code. So I've been waiting for these for about a week and a half now. I ordered them not the past Thursday, but the Thursday before. Today is Monday. I ordered 100 of them. I'd never ordered from them before, but I've seen them all over the place, so figured I'd give them a go. It's supposed to be 100, so let's count. 1, 2, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 times 7. Short of it, I have 100 labels or more. And there's a little adhesive here. So that's kind of cool. I just got mine to say Handmade with Love by Janine, because I can't commit. Be a little close up there, even though I have another angle. I can't commit to having cash crop quilts on my quilts yet, because I want to see if that's something that I really like. I haven't decided yet, but it was a good handle to find on Instagram, so that's what I did. Even though I had the measurements, they look a lot smaller than I thought they were gonna be. That's okay. This is the finished product before washing it, and I think I'm gonna attach it on the front. I've been waiting for these labels before I even really get into editing the video. But yeah, this quilt, she's all done, just a label. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Well, I guess you'll be seeing it in the next clips or whatever, and then throw this in the wash. This has been a long project. I started this quilt when I started this job that I work at now, and it's been like 2 months. It feels like I started the quilt forever ago, but I just started the job, so that tells you that time really doesn't mean anything to me. So here's a little bit of B-roll. I want to thank my dad for standing out in -20 with me with a little bit of wind blowing so he could hold up the quilt. This is not footage of that because his hands were really cold. He took his gloves off, but hung it out on the line, very cold. This is after it's been washed. I did make a mistake in terms of where I sewed on the label I have. I wanted it on the front. I know a lot of people put it on the back. That doesn't bother me. Orientation-wise, though, if you can figure out what's wrong with it, you'll see a photo, I think, or part of this video, and you'll be able to figure it out. But I really enjoyed this quilt. I think I'm going to work on this pattern again. I did sign myself up for a quilt-along that starts in March, I think. It's the homespun one from Modernly Morgan. I bought the pattern a couple weeks ago, wanted to give it a try. Been wanting to give it a try since I think it came out, or as soon as I got done the Nova Star last year. Haven't had a chance, but here are some photos from the day before and the day before that. Yeah, there's my label. I look really cute, don't I? Yeah, super cute. This is one that my dad was holding. That's my dad. Yeah, hope to see you in the next one.